All right, guys, welcome. This is our 10X in 2026 to be a superhero of your community webinar. It's really an opportunity to learn about you guys, but also should give you a kind of a peek behind the curtains of how I created this company, why we created the methodologies that we go to help communities expand their pipeline without the additional work and resources, and quite frankly, the headaches, so they can focus on the rest of their jobs. And we know I've been doing this since 1994. I know how busy you are and all of the things that get thrown on your plate. So I feel for you. Um, whoops, doing a little quick today. So what to expect today? To talk about GSLI, a little bit of the origin, and that'll help really for you to understand why we are even here. Some common EDO challenges. We're going to role play. I'm going to be your board today. We're going to give the GSLI solution and how we go about generating prospects. And then we've got two special offers today. We've got a Amazon gift card and one of my latest books, or my latest book, will give away an autographed book to someone just for your participation. Um, all you have to do, it's very simple. We love connectivity, and before you know it, Jessica and Mark are already entered because they put something in the chat box. So whenever you chat or make a comment, that automatically goes into our wheel of names and enters you into the drawing. We're going to be giving away two gifts. So, and the first one gets to choose. All right. To make sure that you're in the right place today, throw up the poll, Cresta. Are you interested in increasing your community's pipeline with highly qualified and active projects? I know it sounds simple, but we've had communities that have answered no. And if that's the case, we're not just about prospects, but that's a major reason people turn, or EDs have turned to us. All right, good. Looks like we've got the right people so far. A 100% are looking for more qualified projects. Let me ask you this. Are you experiencing small budgets, budget cuts, or a board that demands more results with less money? Same challenges. Well, don't feel bad. You are like, I would say, 95% of economic developers. And the truth of the story, that's been since 1994 when the company was formed. Same things, budget cuts, always trying to increase, but technology has really advanced the expectation boards have of proven ROI or asking for ROI and cutting back on those budgets. And cutting back on those budgets isn't a bad thing. Technology has allowed us to do more with less money, and that's a good thing. And so we really adopted a lot of that in our whole process. GSLI was formed. We can't take all the credit. I'm sorry. We were formed by economic developers for economic development professionals. It's that simple. In fact, to this day, we have an advisory board of 10 people. They're not all listed here, and I don't want to go into the sad story. We lost one of them, and but um, we have 10 advisory board members. They're all over the country, and they represent different sizes of communities, different geographic regions, and they ensure we meet 4 times a year. They ensure that the growth and things that we are doing are economic development minded and for the economic development community. The story is very simple. When I founded GSLI, I was in a meeting. We had 25 economic developers. I will have to say they were quite brilliant. They got together and they were frustrated. They were said, why do we keep getting thrown into a marketing role? We are hired as an economic developer. We know how to sell our community. We know how to tell our story. We know how to close business. Yet our board is asking us and giving us a, unrealistic expectations. Go close a $5 million project, and here's less than $100,000 to go do it. And better yet, we need you to know where to spend that money, how to invest that money, how to follow up project leads, how to put them into a system and generate prospects. Or, we're going to have to judge how successful the year was. And it wasn't fair. And so they kind of got together. They said, "Hey, why are we spending 80% of our time trying to chase and find leads, only 20% of our time closing leads? Why don't we put all of our money together or a little bit from each other so we're not out a bunch of money, build one marketing fund and give that to an expert to go out and do all this grunt work for us? Bear the expense of advertising, marketing, go find and qualify the projects to make sure they're fully vetted and hand them over to us and let us disqualify our community." And so, therefore, that day we all walked away and GSLI was formed. It was basically a co op marketing fund to go out and allow us to do what we do best of generate projects. Since then, we've grown. This is a current map of our members and our coverage throughout the United States. This is a current listing of our members that we work for and uh, help get first at bats with the projects. These are some of the profiles on each of those communities. And the successes. We've had a tremendous amount of success at all different levels. We work with corporate real estate companies. These are actual projects we have landed. This was a fun one from Barcelona. This was another one from Latin America. This one was from Las Vegas, and added some recreational aspect to a community. So projects of all sizes and all types of companies. And this is kind of a listing of all the projects or a sampling of projects from 5 to 10 jobs up to 500 automotive jobs. Very large span of the types and sizes of companies. I would say our wheelhouse is somewhere between 50 and 100 jobs right now. During the pandemic, we don't know why. It got to nothing but 3 to 500 job expansions. And we felt that was due to the mid-sized companies going under and the bigger companies just swallowing them up and doing massive projects at that time. But it's fallen back over the past 2 years into that 50 to 100 job sweet spot. I said I was going to role play, and so I'm going to be that board that keeps asking but does not keep giving. So these are the things. You're in your board meeting at the beginning of the year, and they come to you and they ask, "We need you to launch a campaign media mix with 5 lead generation pillars." And generation pillars, different marketing, telemarketing, web research, magazine advertising, whatever those are for your community. Exhibit and receive projects from 6 national trade shows. I want you to hire an intern to qualify leads. I need you to hire a consultant to work with you monthly on submissions and strategies. I want you to invest in a CRM so you can track your projects and provide us with detailed reports on your activity. And I need you to distribute national press releases to get our story out to the nation because it's all about telling our story so more people know what a great area we are. And I want you to promote your city on social media to further build our brand. So I'm going to ask um, how much in the chat box. This is your opportunity to get into our little prize winning at the end on the wheel of names. But how much budget, if your board came to you and asked to complete all of those things within the next 12 months, how much would you need to ask for to do your job effectively? And we've gotten some crazy comments on this before. Who's going to be first? We got a shy group.
We do have a shy group today. Our last group was pretty active, so
Well, I'm going to move forward, and that's okay.
I'm gonna say minimum
The
of about 50,000.
The average that we get, the answer is somewhere between 50. We had one lady say 600,000. And I would love 600,000, but
Very
somewhere be,
unrealistic.
somewhere between 25, 50,000, they felt that they could accomplish those tasks. And I would come back and say, hey, I need a board with realistic expectations. I cannot do that. So, what if I told you you could do all of this for under $9,000 a year? That was the beauty of what those 25 economic developers created 31 years ago, and they have not went up. We have not went up a dime in our price or our investment for the economic developers on size of communities or number of communities. It stayed that way, and we wanted to keep it an affordable, yet um, expansive way to connect on multiple levels and not just about leads. So basically, we put together the system to save you time, save money. We've become really good and probably the only ones in the industry to do AI training for EDs, and we do that for free, and we eliminate the headaches before they strike. What the best part of us is we flip the traditional model of ED site selection. Instead of site locators disqualifying your community, you disqualify the projects that don't fit. That means we introduce our communities and let the companies know they're going to be hearing from communities they normally wouldn't from their states. I will tell you, this isn't a bad thing, but if a project comes to Texas and goes to the state, they're probably going to be introduced to Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, maybe a San Antonio or a tier two city. But they're going to go with the path of least resistance. That state wants to close the lead. We let these companies know they're going to hear from communities that not necessarily they've heard of before, but qualify for their project for the reasons that the community will explain. Too good to be true, Chris. This is where you take over. We're gonna go live, and I'm gonna kind of run through some scenarios so you can see it in action. These are leads that you could automatically put into your pipeline as you go. But if you have something that you want to test us out on, or a need or a pain point, throw it in the chat box and we'll try to address it during the live demo. We try to do this in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Make it quick, but while you're firing up, Cresta, you
Yep,
can
I'm
take over
doing
my
that
screen.
right now.
Everybody put their mind in a mode of you just got to your office, you like coffee, so you've got your coffee in hand. You received a ding on your computer. It's a email alert that says we've got a live project for you, asking for you to go in, view the project, and qualify it. Every time a lead comes through, the second we put it in, you get the live alert. And so, Cresta,
Can
take
you
us
guys see
in.
my screen?
Cannot.
Oh, it says I am sharing. And anybody else, can you see my screen? Because Eric could not last time because he was still sharing his screen. Um, so if anybody else could just let me know in the chat if you can see my screen. Can you see the chat? Because I'm on the screen, Eric.
Okay, they say they can. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. I thought so. It's just you, Eric.
It's always me.
Eric's broken. So this is the actual email that you get when a new qualified project comes across your system. So it just lets you know what what the project is, how many jobs, the qualification date, building size needed, and the time frame, and allows you to just click in if you want to get to log in and go to your portal.
Yeah. So,
So
so Cressa, I've gotten this alert. Show me how I'm going to find my project.
absolutely. We are now at the GSLI project portal. I have just logged in using my demo account for eTheBot, and I am at the page that it comes to. So what I would want to do is I'd want to go to this Browse Projects button. And then from there, I'm going to be able to pick the project that the email just came across about.
So I'm
So
kind of scanning through those and I see the alert, the project that I got the alert from. I can see how many jobs and things like that. That's not enough information for me to make a submission. Can I view any details about that project?
absolutely. So let's just take Climate Forge. It's the most recent one that we put into the system. And if you just click on it, it's going to take you in. It's going to show you a full project overview. It will show you any states of interest or regions of interest, along with any special requirements like they need a large amount of land, water, electricity, whatever the case may be. They need high ceilings, so many dock doors. And then
You
it'll
know,
also give you that initial RFI submission deadline.
I've got a question about that one that really, you did a great job of providing notes there, but I've got an additional question. Is there any way for me to get an answer to that question?
Absolutely. So there's actually a couple of ways. There's one right here on the portal, which is over here to the left, which says be the first to ask a question. You can click that button and it's actually going to take you to a place where you can submit your question. These are going to go directly to our project director, Ashley. And within 24 to 48 hours, she will send you an answer to the question. But you can always take your questions to your coach as well, who has a meeting with Ashley every Monday morning to get those questions answered and to learn more information about any projects that are currently in the portal or going in.
Excellent. This is 100% a project I want to submit on. And I hate making submissions because they take like an hour whenever these site locators or the state sends me to them. How do I make a submission?
So as you can see on the side menu, there is a submit button. So you're simply just going to click that button. And the great thing about our RFI is that once you've done one and put in the work to find all that information, tax rates, logistics, etc., these are going to be a lot of sticky fields down here towards the bottom. So when it comes to a lot of that information that you have to usually dig for and input every time, like all these highways, like this tax information, those are sticky fields. So while they are editable and you can remove something or add something, you can also leave it just as it is, which is going to really simplify the time that it takes to get a new submission in.
So I've submitted, and I'm going back and it's a month out. How do I know if I submitted to that project?
Absolutely. Well, while you are working in the browse projects, we are going to recommend that you add everything that you are interested in to your pipeline because it does make it a lot easier to only see the projects that you are currently working with. But as you can see here, there is there are two different options. So when you're submitting, you have the option to save for later and come back and add more information, or you have the option to choose this is complete and ready to go to the prospect. So if you have need more information and you saved it for later, it's going to have this yellow pending banner off to the side. However, if it's fully submitted and ready to go, it's going to have this submitted banner, but you're also going to get an email letting you know that we received that submission.
Okay. So I've submitted, and usually when I submit, I never get follow up. I never get any kind of feedback. I don't get to see where the project went, and I for sure don't get the contact information. But what about project updates? How do I know if there's a project update?
Awesome. So if you look over here off to the right on some of these projects, you're going to see this little bell with a red dot. And what that is some kind of update that's been done on the project. I'm going to click on it and it's going to bring up the latest update that we have on that project.
Excellent. Chris, I love my coach, but nobody can sell my community better than me. So I wish that whenever I got these other RFIs, I got the contact information so I could at least say, hey, you know, give my personal pitch. Do I ever get the contact information regarding these projects?
So, if for any reason a project becomes non responsive to us, we do generally try and get updates within 45 to 60 days. And if for any reason we are unable to secure those updates, as long as you have added the project to your pipeline and submitted on it, if the contact information is released, you will have access to it. So let me find one that works under these guidelines. There we go. Oh, no, that's internal. Got to find one that I submitted on and is, here we go. This is a funny one. We'll go with that. As you can see on custom cannabinoid, which was a real project, um, there is this little phone icon next to it. And it shows over here that I have submitted on it. So now when I click into that project, I have added a contact option over here on the left menu. And if I click on that contact option, it's going to show me exactly who we were communicating with in regards to that project. And
Excellent.
now you can go ahead and call them yourself and say, hey, what do you think
Abs
of our submission?
Absolutely. But, Chris, I'm shorthanded. I've only got like one or two staff members. I'm understaffed. I need someone else out there in the marketplace, at trade shows, in meetings, keeping 100% eye on my community and educating themselves on my community and keeping me, I'm going to say, like going to the gym, making sure I show up, making sure my submission is in, letting the team know. Is there that opportunity?
Well, that is really what your coach is for. Your coach, well, I mean, we do have the opportunity to go to trade shows with us. You get to attend any trade show at no additional cost. And you can actually view those trade shows right here on the portal. And in regards to just having someone who knows your community, your coach is going to set up a monthly meeting with you where they're going to be discussing all things about your community. So that way they're ready and prepared whenever a project is new or comes across that seems like it would be a good fit for you. They can reach out and let you know, just in case you didn't see the message come across that, hey, this is a great one. I think it's a good fit for your community.
You know,
And in
you
regards to those trade shows,
we,
here are
I was going to
all of
say,
the trade shows you can attend with us.
you brought up trade shows, and my community wants me to go to them, but I don't have $12,000 to spend on a booth and getting into the show. Is there a way for me to go and have a booth?
So we will have a booth at these trade shows, and we highly recommend that all of our members attend because it is a great opportunity to really get in front of those projects. We uncover anywhere from 20 to 50 leads depending on the show. And so you being able to really put your community out there first does give you a little bit of a heads up when it comes to the submission process because you're already familiar with the project.
So I went to one of your trade shows, and I got this great goodie bag that Cresta put together for us, which was amazing. And and I went out on my own and I walked the floor and met a project, but it's not in the portal. And I have other projects from other things I'm doing. Can I use this as a CRM for my own tracking of leads and reporting?
Absolutely. So if you go back to that browse projects page, right up here on that top menu, there is an add internal project. So this is for all projects that are for your community so that you can keep them all in one place and use the pipeline as your CRM for projects. So you would just go through the steps of putting in the information about the project, just as we would when we're entering a project into the system. And the only difference is it's only going to show up in your pipeline. These are pipeline specific. So as long as you are logged in, it will only show up in your logged in account. So for example, test the portal. If anybody was to try and look for that project, they're not going to find it because it's an internal project in the Bots account. And it's just so that he can use this as a CRM, make notes, and have all his projects in one place.
Excellent. Chris, I've only got two other things. My board came to me and said, you know what? We are behind. We need to stay up on AI. We've heard the stat that it'll save a community up to 6 weeks of wasted time of producing content where I should be spending my time closing projects, not producing content. And so I really want to get in the game of AI. Do you guys offer that for us?
Absolutely. So underneath our Elite Cities tab, which is where most of our member information is going to be, if you go right here to Jam Academy, That is going to be all of Eric's awesome trainings. Might help if I clicked it. That's going to be all of Eric's awesome trainings. A lot of which I would say majority of which are going to be AI related. Also, instead of just digging through all of these and trying to figure out what it is, if you have a specific need at that time, you can narrow it down. So, what is the need, Eric?
They want me to put together a cover letter, like, that's very tailored, not this standard cover letter that just goes out with every RFI. They want it customized to the project.
Here are a couple videos just by typing in cover letter at the top that I can see about how to write custom cover letters for projects.
You
And
know, and that,
these will also include prompts for you to use for your own community.
yeah, and then they also threw social media at me. Now they want me to be a social media expert too, but I know the importance of it.
Awesome. Here are a couple videos on social media, including developing your strategy as well as how to create posts in this much time.
Yeah, okay. So you got a lot of them. There's over 50 of those in there, which that's really good. Okay. My last thing is my board's always going to ask, "Hey, what'd you spend and what'd you get?" So what's the old ROI? And so how am I going to show what I put into this program and what I received if I did this on my own?
Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do that, Eric. So I'm glad you asked. The first one would be to easily print out your submissions and any notes and whatnot and put together a packet for your board. When you do go to print things out, let me just show a sample of that because I want you guys to see this goodness real quick. There we go. So I'm in here and I know I've submitted on some of these. So I'm just going to go back to that submission. As you can see here, I can download the PDF of that submission right here. I can also go to that project report and if I choose to print it, it's going to take out all the, oh, I got my screen share right in there. Hold on, let me scooch that over. Okay, there we go. It's going to take out all of the cutesy fun stuff and make a really professional project report for you. So that is one way, but we have also built in an ROI reporting, and this should work well with the bots account, much better than when I'm trying to show someone who's brand new and they don't have any information in here. But if you go to your dashboard, which is right there on that side pop-out menu, there is an ROI report feature here where you can pick the dates. And I'm actually going to go back a little bit because I know that this is my bot account and I haven't really done any submissions in it in a while. So we'll just give it a good amount of time so we can see some of those submissions. Okay. You can put in the dates that you want to check that ROI, and then you can choose to generate that custom report. And it's going to actually take you in and show you how many projects you had the opportunity to submit on, how many jobs you could have created for your community. It's going to show you how many projects were looking in your state or region or national search. And then it's going to show you your pipeline and your submissions. And so you get down here to the bottom and it's going to ask you, what do you think the value is for each of these type of leads? You know, the national lead, the regional lead, the state lead, and being able to submit on all of these projects. And so once you do that, it's going to generate a ROI for you. These are just the values that come in it naturally if you don't put anything, but it'll then kind of tell you you paid 8,500 for 12 months. And obviously this is like a 5-year period that I put in there, but the value is $192,000 that you received from being inside the portal. So I would definitely print this report, add it to all of those project reports and submissions, and your board should be A-OK.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Cresta, for that demo. And just to reiterate on that ROI, those are the national averages that pop in there. So if your board puts more value, you can adjust the number up. If they put less value on a project lead, you can adjust that down. So it's really meant to be customized for yourself. So just a quick recap. I'm going to speed this up because I always try to stay on time. And so what GSLI does better than anyone else, if you want to take away something from this, absolutely, we can help you 10x your project leads without doing any work, just taking a look at our projects. But beyond that, we are the best in the country at AI training. I don't know any other organization that offers economic development AI training, and we do a great job of it. In fact, you can tune in to our jam sessions, get plugged in for free. You can only dig into or go back and search our library if you're an active member. So we keep that library there that you can share with other people in your organization and whatnot. We track projects in a CRM that keeps it organized. To my knowledge, we're the only CRM type company that feeds itself. It's like buying a cookie jar and it keeps filling up with cookies. And you get to decide which ones you're going to eat. So we have an active CRM, an interactive CRM, and we help on all standards. We started as just a lead generation service. We've grown into helping with AI lead generation products, retail products, publicity products, podcast, videos, websites. We're doing 7 websites right now for communities, and we're
Fun
excited about
times.
helping them increase their presence. Again, the AI training, that's something I really love, but I bought into this 10 years ago, and 5 years ago it became very prevalent, and this was a must. I saw those not adopting this were falling behind, and our members call me all the time and they say, man, you just saved us, you know, 3 weeks of work on a SWOT analysis. And so those are the things that we like to help you be more efficient at. Um, Whoops. And again, we track the projects in the CRM and all of these different services. We're here to help you. We identify some communities that we won't allow to be a part of us until we get them to a point where they can make submissions, have a good website, and do those things. And we want to do those things at cost. So we know we're far less. We challenge any community just to ask us to put in a bid for them so they can keep the other vendors, um, what do you want to call it?
Honest.
Honest. Um, and if you think you're going to spend 16,000 for a website, you're going to get it for 7 to 9 from us. And that's full turnkey, just to give you an example. We would rather you take that other $6,000 and invest it in going to some trade shows, getting out in the marketplace, or doing other things that your community needs. Once you decide that you want to be a part of us, we do a very professional white glove onboarding with Caresta. It's a training call. It's about an hour long. Um, we put out a press release form. We send that out nationally, and we give you the ability to send it out locally. You get a call from your coach that'll schedule a standing monthly call or monthly conversation. Use that to train them. They are an extension of your staff and need to be treated that way. Instant access to the portal with real-time project updates and alerts, and email reminders of all jam sessions, prospect lives, submission deadlines, and any upcoming trade shows. If there's any questions, which I'm not anticipating any, but if there are, throw them down there in the Q&A box, and I'll be glad to do it. But I want to get through uh, and offer you guys this. You've spent some time. Thank you so much. I know how busy you guys are. We have fun here. You can tell we dress up, we have fun at the trade shows, and you have to make economic development fun. And the more fun it is, the more success we have. People stop by our booth, and understand that this is fun. Seeing companies grow, seeing communities grow, seeing the impact, the average impact of one new employee on a community is over $500,000. That's big. And that's one reason I've been doing this for 31 years. But if you'll do this, we're going to throw up a little poll. And if you want, you can take our 5-minute community assessment. And if you come on board with us in the future, we're going to open up the portal for the past 6 months. And we do that because if you are trying to show success with your board, from day one, we want to allow you to go ahead and submit on 4 or 5 projects and tell your board, we've already surpassed last year's goals and projects. Then from that day forward for the next 12 months, you're going to get other project leads. I'm going to tell you the average number of projects your community should expect to submit on is somewhere between 10 to 12. To get a return on your investment, you really only need to submit on 4 to outpace the national average. So we try to double that. And these aren't just leads. These are 100% vetted, qualified projects that are going to dig dirt. They're going to need at least 10 jobs. They're going to need at least 10,000 square foot of space. They're going to make a decision in less than 18 months, and they're going to um, expand outside of a 50-mile radius of their current location. Those are the type of projects that you'll be submitting on. And then also, if you fill out this, hit the S in the survey box there. I'll put together and do a free one-on-one marketing assessment with you valued at $2,500. I'll get on the phone. I'll take a look at everything you guys are doing and help you evaluate and compare that to our members. You know, what are they seeing works, what doesn't work, and give you my best advice on how to be effective in that. So with that, we have a ton of opportunities for you to get it plugged in, our jam sessions. If you haven't been on our prospect lives, it's an opportunity to log in, talk to a prospect live, ask them questions about your community, hopefully get on their short list. And we have master series. Those are deeper dives on specific topics um, that take an expanded look on. All right, Caressa, we are ready to do the wheel of names. You're going to have to take over the screen again. I'm going to assume my screen's been showing. Did you stop sharing yours?
Yes, I did stop sharing mine and yours was showing, and now mine
I
is
could have went
showing
through all
again.
that.
I'm glad that you decided to ask about that after you went through 15 other slides.
You know how I like to talk. I've had calls drop and I talk for 20 minutes. So,
All
all right,
right, I've
let's do
got
the
all
wheel
the
names.
names.
Okay,
They're on the board. We've got Risa, Jessica, Mark, Jeremy, all here. And
excellent.
we are
And spin
going
it
to
up.
spin the wheel.
It's a slow spin.
Jeremy,
Jeremy. All right, Jeremy, in the chat box. Do you want the Amazon gift card or the signed book? The
one more
book is
spin
called
coming.
Red, White, and Bruised. It's kind of a humorous look at the 31 years of site location uh, adventures I've had. And my kid said it was funny, so I'm going to trust
It
him.
was pretty funny. I definitely will. I will agree. It is a funny book. Can you see Eric? Because I'm on this page.
I can't see it.
Okay, well, we'll just wait and see which one he says. I
Okay,
mean,
well,
no,
let's
can
go.
you see the chat?
Oh,
See
I
what
can see
Jeremy
the chat.
wanted. Okay,
Uh,
perfect. I'm gonna
uh,
give it another spin.
give it another spin. And first one to chime in gets to choose. I'm really worried because the chat was kind of slow today.
Risa.
All right, Risa.
She's with Crawford County. We just did some flyers for them. Thank you,
Excellent.
Risa.
Oh, we did just showcase those in our jam too. I thought they turned out great. Risa, if you could, or Jeremy, whichever one chimes in first, put Amazon gift card or signed book, and the other person will get the other. Or Risa, we could have James reach out to you.
Oh, whatever
Whatever.
Jeremy doesn't choose works for me.
Jeremy may have stepped away for a coffee.
He's still in here, but maybe he had a call or something that came up, So we'll reach out to Jeremy and see what he needs,
All
and
right.
then we'll send whatever else to Risa. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Risa, maybe we'll send you both.
Ooh.
So great. That is everything, guys. We only were, well, we're actually, I shot for 11:45 and, Um, Great work on the flyers. Thank you, Risa.
Appreciate that.
Those are the best forms of payment we get or compliments. So thank you. Um, Try to be done by 11:45. It's 11:41, so we're ahead of
We did
time.
it.
We really do, guys. Happy holidays. We're gonna get into some travel, so be safe in your travels. Um, be
And you're
blessed about the work that you do for your communities. Continue. I've got an AI that'll let them make a Christmas song about their community. That's in the
also
forum.
just a reminder that we will have your coaches send you out those community assessments after this is over.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, thank you for all the work you do. Happy holidays, and until we meet again on another jam or a webinar or master series, have a great holiday, guys,
Or Prospect Live.
or Prospect Live. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.